SpongeBob has had so many video games. Yeah, for a TV show, Bob Sponge has got to hold the record for the most video games created. And yet, most of them are platformers. Yet, what happens when he doesn't platform? What happens when Bob Sponge wants to not use his calves and jump around? Oh, that's much better. It works out different muscles. So party games were all the rage in the 2000s, where every company that wasn't Nintendo wasn't really doing them. Well, I mean, they tried. But you tell me you're playing this at your friend's house. And yet these existed back in the day before online play was a thing, where you and 3 other people would play in the same room before we all got scared of human contact. And games would try to make games around them where you verse each other in those games. However, there's an overall game mode, where in Mario Party you have the game board, you play mini games every round, and the overall game is the board game trying to get the most stars and not ruin your friendship. Well, here, you're not going to have a friendship because the overall game mode is trying out for the role of a movie villain. Oh, it's very creative. Not very funny though. So SpongeBob lights camera pans as you fighting each other for the crown of movie fame. Well, on the console version, it's slightly different on the PC version, which I'll get to later because this game might be actually really good. And yes, this was one of my favorite PS2 games, replaying it so much with my brother, us against the CPU, trying all the options because this game has a crazy amount of replayability in the cutscenes, where they will swap out the character depending on who won the minigame. Yep, you were fighting for your starring role in the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie. Gee, is it that easy to get into films? I thought you had to sleep with. Now, weirdly, this game has no info on the development from the wiki. I mean, it's a SpongeBob party game. I'm sure archivists were foaming at the mouth to try to find out who made this game. But it was developed by THQ Australia. Oh, hey, I know that place. Where on the intro screen, SpongeBob is missing some yellow in his PNG, as you got the new character Gil Hammerstein. Oh, like Weinstein. So do we also have to sleep?
Good one, pal.
Voiced by Nolan North, doing a saliva accent?
Yes, sir. Sure.
He's filming the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie, and we get to play roles in said movie. So the main story, you get to pick which character you want. You got Yellow Bob, Pink Star, Depression, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and Texas. Well, you can play by yourself since you don't have anyone who would ever play kids' licensed games with you for their nostalgia. So you can verse the CPU and set the difficulty. Where you own one, I think it makes the modes harder for you to complete. And I thought, oh, okay, this is a kid's game. I should try it on the hardest mode since it should be easy. Surely the CPU won't be difficult to beat. And so each stage has Gil getting info from a small cast member who is interviewing the contestants for the role. Like they set up some torture mini games, and if you win all 3 of them on the points, you get the role. And as you'll see, yes, you can have the same character play numerous roles. So the first contestant host is Bubble Bass.
No, you could not.
Where at the Krusty Krab, you got mini games where the first one has you flipping cooked patties to the teammate who has to land where it is to bag it and reject the
nasty patty.
And yes, many of the games are team games, which is so annoying when you have AI teammates.
Oh no. Hurry it up, will ya? We're hungry over here, look at us! My kids out here!
The next game in our minimum wage minigame simulator is one where you have to take orders of the customers and you have to prepare by holding the button. Yes, holding. I was mashing it for my life thinking that's what you had to do. And something I noticed, oh man, are these minigames long. Like in Mario, most are 1 minute. These are 1 minute 30 to 3 minutes long. That's a long time for kids to keep focused on a game, doing the same task over and over. Well, I guess it's preparing them for adult life. And the final minigame has you in a new pair. Sorry, Squiddy. It's not me, it's you. And you have to bounce the ingredients into the Krusty Krab. And most minigames have 3 intervals where the game will pause and then get faster.
What a terrific teammate!
Let's go faster!
Wait, which character was yelling that? So after all 3,
How did the waiter trials go?
As I suspected, they were all
terrible.
It is pretty crazy they managed to get the voices back for every small NPC, as we won the role, and it plays the clip they filmed of us with our
We should be out
heroes.
finding the sneaky hermit.
Did you say sneaky hermit?
Yes, I did.
The hermit used to be in my tap dancing class.
And it's so hilarious that they have the characters mostly off screen so they can just reuse this part with the heroes and just swap our player out. Now the movie is actually out of order. I'll go into it in the final bit once we got all the roles cast. So the next segment is with Larry.
Let's see if they sing.
Is that the Danganronpa sound effect again? I heard it in the last SpongeBob video. I'm guessing they're using the same stock sound effects they buy. And what does Larry have us do? Fart to propel us to win a race with obstacles. I'm guessing it's based on the inflatable fans. What the heck, Squidward? Did you eat cheese before this? Yep, on hard, the CPU goes hard. Which is cool because from my memory, you can let the CPU win and get roles as well. Which is what we did as kids because say if you want to see all the characters have a role in the movie, you can't change out who you picked. So say if SpongeBob won the first role, and if I kept winning all of the games, SpongeBob would get every single role in the movie. So if you wanted to see Squidward win it, you would have to let the CPU win and potentially throw the whole event. Legally, I didn't throw, okay? And then you see Squidward's cutscene, so since I wanted to see Squidward in some of the roles, the other option would be I would have to redo the whole game again and win everything as him and keep repeating with every single character. And also, it's not that fun if every single role is the one character, like you want everyone to be in this movie. Well, Squiddy, let's work together. Where you gotta put weights on and then press X in the green bar. This game is so busted because you could not even have the bar you want and you're just standing there waiting for it to spawn. So we actually lose, maybe on the final event someone could win. And I don't like how on the prep screen you can't actually skip through the hints. You gotta wait a long time to read it, and I'm assuming they thought people would have a hard time reading it. You know, the American literacy rate. But come on, man, I'm an adult playing this game, which is definitely not your target audience. So you got a whole X to cast and let go of your reel to get items for points, and man, was it a close game. And then the final score.
Sweet victory!
So Patrick won. He got the role.
What was that? Was that acting? I don't think so. Try again!
Wait, so only the player can win? I could have sworn the CPU could also win. So you gotta redo the games that you did bad in and get a higher score. And then my ROM crashed. Even the game was so sad I lost at weightlifting. I'm sorry, the sponge doesn't lift! Okay, Spongy ain't doing it, so I picked Mr. Krabs. And had to redo the whole cooking minigame. Sure loves working that grill. My god, Patrick, stop giving me the wrong order!
What did you say?
So I win as Krabs, and you can see the difference where Krabs is just themed more about money in his cutscene.
The chum bucket! There's a fee for making dramatic announcements!
And I win the next thing where you're a lookout for the sneaky hermit, who is the villain in this game. And overall points are tallied at the end of every round, because by the end, the winner of this will get to play the villain. So next is Mrs. Puff, and it's all driving games where one is that bumper off the cliff game where you hold your ink to launch people off. This is so incredibly fun, and I had the biggest comeback to one where you do tricks in a straight line course, and the final one, the driving around the track. And this is the most arcadey feeling car in any game. They say you can drift, but do not use it because you will spin out. You literally turn so hard and drift just by turning. This is so slippery, even excluding the oil slicks.
Get Mr. Krabs down to makeup. See if they can make him look young. Or at least younger.
Was he lip smacking after the take? Why did they leave that in? So Krabs is a cop now.
Money, 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 money,
And chases after the heroes to arrest them. But don't worry, it'll make sense in the end. So next is Squilliam's music ones, which are fun rhythm games, which was annoying because I think there's some input lag. It didn't feel good when hitting the notes in time. Like I thought I was jamming, but the game didn't think so. And Squidward, that sure is a saxophone. And Patrick, so then then Squilliam goes, wow, he really said that. And you gotta hit it to dance, and then the final one is similar, but you repeat the pattern. This was so frustrating as Plankton was making so much noise that I couldn't hear myself. And the winner is...
All according to plan.
Oh, the CPU won. Oh, they're gonna make me redo this whole thing.
The Whale Philharmonic. Hit it.
So it does work? Then why didn't you let the CPU get the roll before? This game is biased against Patrick, which makes sense to my memory because imagine you have to win every game. So then every single roll is just your character. So you would have to play the game 5 times again to see every character in every roll. Next is Karen at the Chum Bucket fixing Plankton's machine. You see low energy, you hold X on it, and you're catching bubbles to get points and avoiding the dirty bubble, then charging yourself up with electricity and connecting points to bank them. I utterly destroyed the CPU here. And yeah, Dirty Bubble and Man Ray are in this game.
Foodmobile. Our heroes have arrived.
I'll have a burger and fries. I mean, unhand that captive, you vile fiend!
It really is insanely cool this party game got authentic voices back for the NPCs. I mean, when Battle for Bikini Bottom couldn't even get Mr. Krabs, this seemed crazy. Although I will say Mermaid Man, who sounds a lot like him, isn't actually the actor, but one who plays him in all games. Barnacle Boy is still Tim Conway though. Like, they even got Kevin back from Jellyfish Fields, where you have to catch them to harvest a jellyfish, dive down to catch them, just utterly wipe out their population, and a really fun one where you gotta play a note to turn the jelly into your team's color, and then the other person can catch them. But you can also use this to stun the enemy. So I just stayed near their catcher and stun locked him so you could never bank the points. Then they got the prison with this guy from the weightlifting episode. No strangler, really? And you got actual football here. It's so easy to break, you just run slightly to the side of the goalkeeper and you instantly score. And it's more annoying because it pauses the timer when you score. If you wanted to hurry up, you just score 2 goals and just sit back. Then you're gonna help prisoners escape by grabbing them and going to the right, avoiding the searchlights, and then the final one, whack the rocks to break them down to get some money, but not let it jam. And the Plankton CPU was so stupid, he literally just kept following me instead of standing on the other side. And the final minigame roundup with Cannonball Jenkins.
For our fearless competitors.
Doors? What doors? I don't see no doors.
Is that the new Caveman Bob image? You gotta move up and down to scrape the barnacles, then you juice up this rope to climb it, which was annoying since most of the minigames they swapped halfway through, so you could both try out the gameplay. Yet here, they made me the juicer for the entire thing I didn't get to climb. And your eyes are always up here because you don't want to fail, so I don't even know what Squidward was doing down here. Then the final one, you gotta swing each other to touch as many pegs before the other guy. And guess who's won?
Yo, who's the winner? Dinner? I don't need dinner.
So you see then who won the role of the Hermit, where they now will play the whole movie in order, where pretty much Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are watching a concert.
Who's winning?
What do you... Oh, look, I told you, it's a musical performance, not a football game.
Ah, you're only saying that because your team's losing.
Well, the whole stadium gets stolen, and people think Mermaid Man did it, so they get arrested, but Mermaid Man had taken a picture at the time.
Jeez! I sure wish you'd stop fiddling with that thing. You make me nervous.
Nothing to be afraid of, Barnacle Boy. It's just my chin cam. Looky. Such a handsome chin.
So we see that he didn't do it, and then we see those other 2 criminals in jail, and they work out that this building snatching is done by the sneaky Hermit, and he's doing this because...
My sweetness, you left me dry and took our home, and now I'm crabby and evil and wanna steal all of Bikini Bottom.
And so he tricks the 2 evil guys and steals their homes. He keeps stealing every building as we have to try and find him, and we corner the
You
Hermit.
stole our invisible boatmobile, sneaky hermit.
You stole our evil lairs.
Evil bears?
But why?
Okay, the devs are definitely Australian because they are showing off an Australian commercial meme where people would tell tourists about drop bears who are evil.
for you.
There's drop bears.
Drop bears?
Creatures of the deep, unite!
Oh god, I forgot Krabs won every role with me. He's the same guy. guy! So Hermit wants to steal the sea needle. But Mermaid Man's pepper that he stole from the Krusty Krab, a lot of stealing in this game, causes him to sneeze and everything is back to normal. Then Mr. Lawrence...
Monsieur, you really are very good at that.
Thanks again, my French companion. There's a funny story about how I got into cartoons. You see, when I was just a kid...
Okay, go off.
What do you say we go see the rest of that performance at the Sand Stadium?
We're going back to the football game? Hot dog! I love football!
Oh, jeez. It's not oh, whatever. Yep. Let's go see the rest of the football game.
Yippee!
Then the credits thank teachers and coffee machines. Okay, sure. And for doing well in the game, you get artwork.
That's it, I'm out of here.
And yeah, now you'd usually redo the whole thing to see the other characters in those small roles like Sandy and Plankton, but the overall story is still the same. But they'll throw their own little lines, like Mr. Krabs will mention money, Patrick will be dumb, and so on. I guess it's cool if you want to see your favorite character win, and it's also a nice plaything for kids to pretend, oh, these characters are acting in this role, but they don't actually change that much of the storyline or anything. Like whoever plays the sneaky hermit will still be evil. You'll have Sandy just being evil, just with their own stereotype you know from the show. I don't think it's perfect, the minigames go far too long, but a lot of them are actually still very fun, and a lot more fun with real people, although I've never played this with 4 people, and I can imagine this would be chaotic fun, trying to see your character win the role by the end. It's like a nice reward, you get to sit down and watch the whole thing, and all your hard work. A shame though, because even though a lot of work went into this, the voice acting, nearly everyone is back, it's very detailed animation, unique minigames, but man, the comedy was not there. Not in the same writing as the show, and not even that many crazy cool lines or out-of-pocket lines like some of the SpongeBob games were. I think as a kid the fun was seeing, whoa, they made so many cutscenes for this game and you can change them, but I don't remember if I enjoyed the story for the comedy. It's okay, but other SpongeBob games are way more hilarious. And that's what you want from a good licensed game based on a comedy show. You want it to be funny as well. And as usual, Sponge isn't alone, because every game at that time had multiple console versions where it's a completely different game. So let's see what he's doing on the Game Boy, where it's once again developed by those Genie people. If you want Game Boy games, you call them up, and it sort of follows the plot, with Gil making an episode of the show, but it's fetch quests as the 2 oldies are missing, and you gotta go through the levels to find them, where you can actually pick few characters, except for Krabs and Plankton, but the sprites are really well done. Squiddy is a bit tall though, like some season 1 episodes, and you jump and you have a ranged attack, and I cannot for the life of me find the run button, so this was very menacing. Why are you trying to lick me? And you collect stars, with these reels being your lives, and the stars you'll use to buy minigames for you to play, where they sure are minigames. Where you got Mrs. Puff's driving, where Patrick looks more blob than Star. And yeah, it really feels like a good game. I sort of skim over the handheld ones in these videos because I'm not sure if people want me to play them, as I personally never had that many licensed Game Boy games. I was just into Mario and Pokemon, so I don't have that much attachment to these nostalgia-wise. I was thinking maybe you should do a bunch of Game Boy games in one video, but for now, we'll move on to another wild ride. That is, this same SpongeBob game on PC. And if you remember last time, what will we see now? Yes, more weirdness! Oh, these guys again, that can be a good or a bad thing. And with their usual low-budget 2D animation, it follows SpongeBob signing up to be in the movie, but Gil here is like, I got no other actors, so if you find them for me, I'll put you in the movie. Yep, a completely different take on the plot.
Right this way, mister.
I'm SpongeBob SquarePants.
That has got to be the worst stage name I have ever heard.
And Gil sounds different?
No! I only do studio filming, you crawfish!
It's still Nolan North, but for some reason he's not doing the saliva voice. He's doing a deeper voice for the same character? I can only assume these 2 studios and Way Forward were given the game at different times. Like a general plot, it's about this hammerhead shark making a movie, and just make up a plot from there. Because in the first one you're trying out for the role, in the Game Boy 1, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are gone missing, and in this one, all the other actors have gone missing. So you get 3 different takes on the same same general plot. Also, yes, I don't know why when I play SpongeBob PC games, the subtitles don't work for me. As we find this granny who was like, fight me in checkers. Oh, okay. How do I play? You're just gonna look up someone else's playthrough to read any dialogue I miss? But it's checkers and it's pretty easy, as we find the heroes who clearly the studio had to model themselves on a paper string budget.
Oh my gosh, it's really them! Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
That's great, kid.
Shouldn't you two be out fighting evil?
Evil!
Oh, no. Now you went and got him all riled up.
Well, these two are having fun.
Do you know where the remote is, Barnacle Boy?
You had it last, you.
So the goal of this game, if you're not familiar with this style, is a point and click where Sponge will go wherever you click. Double click to make him do a goofy run, and you see these things in blue to investigate, and the goal is pretty much a fetch quest for so many characters you know from the show, and original ones or games made, to recruit for roles for the movie. And you end when you got enough people, as the game will let you know, but you can, and I do try, to go for everyone. So you need to enter the Murmur Lair, and you have to get these oldies to get up.
I love meatloaf.
Well, you better go get in the lunch line then.
There you go. Toodaloo.
I have no words for this. And so you find Man Ray inside.
You cannot stop me!
Oh god, he's vibrating! So you tickle him till he submits to joining a movie, and that's how it goes. You find something for people, you open your inventory to give it to them, and then you talk to them again going, hey, now that you're unemployed, can you join me? No, really, SpongeBob does say that.
Hey, now that your dreams have been totally crushed, how would the two of you like to be in a TV show?
But you get around a few mini games where the invisible boatmobile has driven off, so you gotta collect anchors to slow it down. The funny thing is that left click on the mouse restarts and you gotta do the whole game again. Right click is to move on, which is insanely stupid if you use a mouse every day. Well, maybe I guess kids don't know how common the left click is by then. So after helping Patrick supporting small businesses, why he drink like that? We see Mr. Krabs has a problem.
I can't count me money anymore! I told you it was terrible, boy!
Unfortunately, Mr. Krabs is suffering from a rare condition called Gredius crustaceanus tuchipus, better known as Cloppel tunnel syndrome.
And we gotta make a patty with the golden spatula to fix him, so we gotta answer some questions.
Easy. Bottom bun, patty, ketchup, mustard, pickles, onions, lettuce,
Okay,
cheese,
so
tomato,
you
top
really
bun,
had to
in that
watch
order.
that pickle episode to know the proper answer here, and that's what you will see. This has gotta be the most referential SpongeBob game, with so many callbacks to the good episodes. So we make the patty and give it to Krabs. Yeah, Nickelodeon didn't give them much money for this. So we continue on and meet Mrs. Puff. Oh, I hope nothing creepy will happen as their appearance and creature from the Krusty Krab. My heart can't take any more of Mrs. Puff being creepy.
Besides, the faster you graduate, the faster I can go on vacation.
Look, I can't always be right. Then we see Sandy.
I'm craving some chocolate-covered nuts and I want them now.
We find Squidward is in that place in the one episode.
Cloud your mind with an endless supply of meaningless rabble.
Grown-ups sure use a lot of large words.
Bro, you are an adult. So we get an apple for Mrs. Puff.
Only rotten on one side.
Oh, SpongeBob, why?
Look, I can't always be right. The devs definitely watched the episodes and were making the actors redo lines from the show again, or using gags like the C-Nut Brittle here at the Bargain Mart.
Welcome to Bargain Mart.
Oh, okay, maybe it's not Bargain Mart. So Squidward, to join the movie, wants cocoa with whipped cream. And what does he do with the cream?
Delicious. Perfect.
Adorable.
Wonderful.
Hey, this guy seems familiar.
I have discovered that they are actually a superior alien race.
And yep, he goes on about the jellyfish are aliens. I feel like the PC games are just in their own SpongeBob canon. Okay, the jellyfish are aliens. Alright, sure. We were just milking them in the PS2 version. So SpongeBob goes to change on the beach, and I don't know.
Hey, hurry up.
Just a minute, please.
There's other people out here waiting.
Okay, so this guy's voice is definitely an employee. His microphone picks up background noise.
If you aren't coming out, then we're coming in.
This place oozes evil.
What is even happening? Why is this a mini game?
Hey, Marvin.
Who the heck is this fish? And so after going into a wormhole, you wind up in BC to meet... Yeah, these devs are just showing off their SpongeBob love now. They even got the magic conch in the kelp forest.
Follow the seahorse.
As by this point in the game, you have done enough chores for all the fish, so you have enough for your movie, where on the top right, you can click to end the game and it will start the movie. But I also should mention it's not that hard to do all these things, unlike their previous game. There's still no guide on what you should do, but you can easily teleport with the map button. Also, they really do like SpongeBob screaming in this game, giving Tom Kenny a lot of work here.
Are you and Plankton, betrothed?
You're a nosy little sponge, aren't you?
So yeah, they actually got nearly every single side character back. The only major one missing is Pearl, but everyone is back and they made new characters to even fill out more roles. And so after some more mini games, which are usually you just move left to right with the mouse and you use the mouse click to collect things for points, and then you win, you eventually meet the Flying Dutchman with his actual voice.
You bet your shiny black booties I am.
And after finding his dining sock, you get every character. So now in this movie, it's way more fun than the console version because you can pick the characters for the roles. And there's up to 5 to pick from. It's annoying a little because, like, say, Krabs, only he's available in the reporter category. You can't pick him for other roles. So that's why I guess they put these original fish in here, which are voiced by the employees because they can just do all those extra lines. But after you watch the movie, you just load back into this world so you can click it again to pick new people and replay this. You know, much more better than the PS2 version replaying the whole story mode. You also get to pick up some props for some minor things when you're playing the story. But I picked my characters and the movie actually follows the console games one with the sneaky hermit stealing buildings, Beatrix, Man Ray and Dirty Bubble, Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy get blamed for the crime. But it's so funny with these random original characters like this granny as Man Ray and a clam as the Dirty Bubble.
Evil!
Even more funny because I don't know what my subtitles are saying.
What? Speak English or I will crush your brain into a lump. You fought well, do-gooders, but now we must bid you adieu.
Well, I guess everything is
Why
back
is
to
he
normal
naked?
again. Are you gonna pull your pants up, Mermaid Man?
This game is so fun and way more enjoyable from a story point than the console counterpart. Gameplay sucks. The minigames are horrible. You do get to replay them afterward, but no one should be forced to do this. Even at gunpoint, it's not worth it. Just take the bullet. Because the console game, I felt the gameplay was really fun. I honestly love these games more than most Mario parties, but the story as an adult does not hold up in the writing department to the show. But this game's version was so funny. Even the random original fish were hilarious. So I really like this PC version. And I mean, the Game Boy one seems cool too. It was great revisiting this childhood game of mine, seeing how the minigames hold up. Shame the story and wanting to replay it for all the cutscenes didn't in my mind. Maybe playing a party game alone wasn't the best idea. However, through this video, I found out there was a PC version of this game I never knew existed, and while a little different story, the writing is so much more enjoyable. These people are clearly fans of the show, and even with their low budget limitations, it just adds to the enjoyment. This is so much better than any high quality illustration. On the other hand, its gameplay is one of the most basic for a PC licensed game. So overall, this little venture into the cast applying for roles in a movie game was unique, basing off the Mario Party idea with a story, but in the SpongeBob universe. It's a shame all games don't make anything more because they do make some good models that I can use in the thumbnail.